Life is so much about the frequency that you're on. Are you tuned in? Do you have the right frequency? Stay tuned. We're going to find out how that all works. Welcome everyone, the Your Little Castle Show. I get to highlight those leaders. People have interesting ways about them that we get to figure out and learn from. And today we've got an interesting one because if you believe like I do, there's a system, there's a rhythm, there's a frequency, if you will, that we all must follow or follow in tune with, or else you end up making life very difficult. Play by the rules I talk about. There's a set of rules. Treat each other fairly. Be honest. Be integral. But that frequency is part of what makes the whole system work. An orchestra, like you said, and we're pregame pep.
Absolutely.
Versus a bunch of random music that's confusing. And we're going to talk about how important frequency is. First, we'll give a shout out. We've got a lot of great sponsorship, but our primary sponsor, as you can see on the walls, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things. Hopefully, everything that you have in your world, in your life, is in tune with the frequency. So your little castle where you get nice furniture because you like nice things in your little castle in a nice place where you have a great frequency. With that, we've got a dynamite website and lots of great information, a TikTok channel. We're going to put that up here for everybody first because 44,000 followers and you're getting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,000 viewers on your views per video about what you're sharing with the world here to help us all understand about how important the frequency. Are you down with the frequency? Is that another way to say it? All right. Tell me a little bit about your background. What led you here? You served in our military for 10 years?
Yes, I was a disabled veteran and 100% disabled. The military told me I'd be sick for the rest of my life. The VA put me on 13 different pills, but I wasn't trying to live that life forever. You know, like I wanted to heal myself, and through trial and error, I found frequency medicine.
Yeah, well, give us, everybody, a quick overview. What is frequency medicine on its own? Tell me how that is. Is that a pill you take? What is frequency medicine? So
it's actually the opposite. Frequency medicine, a good way to understand it is everything in the whole world comes down to whether you are coherent or incoherent, okay? So if you are coherent in frequency, that means all your cells, your organs, your body work together like a finely tuned orchestra. If you're incoherent, it's just like if maybe you were watching a great big performance and all of a sudden one of the lights fell and then somebody walked on stage and the ballet dancers quit dancing. That's incoherence. And the same thing can be true in your body. When one system starts to go, we bring it back into balance, into coherence, and we've had wonderful success with frequency medicine in that way.
Yes, because there is a system, there's a rhythm, there's if you don't think that the system we've got, my mom and I talk a little bit about periodically. She's got the building named after her. She's somebody worth listening to, and John Goodman came in for that ceremony. There you go. But there's a system that we must follow, and if you don't stay in tune with this, and her point, we had a discussion. I said, "What do you think about evolution versus what do they call a divine intervention or what was it, systematic?" Well, it'll come to me in a minute. But the bottom line is, you think this all happened by random atoms just crossing paths with each other? And she said, I don't think some amoeba just crawled out of the ground and turned into where we're at. There's a system to it. There's a frequency, and all of it must jive. And if you're in, I've had a good friend of mine. She says, if you're in tune with the universe, then things will go smooth for you. If you're out of tune, if you're explain to me. It's just, am I on the right path there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to describe coherency.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something we all have to either. It's going on whether you realize it or not, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your body has to have the blood vessels flow. There's hertz and megahertz and all this stuff. That all is part of what's going on whether you realize it or not. That makes this all work. Otherwise, we'd just be a blob of human matter. But there's a system to this whole thing.
And the system, I think, what I have learned is through phi ratio. Phi ratio is the secret to all life, and there's so much geometry. So the system that I've developed that scans people has discovered that every emotion you have has a geometry. And then we can find the geometry, figure out whether that geometry is coherent or incoherent, and correct it in real time. So when we are allowing our bodies to go back to their original state before you were sick, before, any of the stress of life, We're restoring that original blueprint. So it's not so much of a system as much as a mathematical perfection. We begin to return our bodies back to where we were before all of that. And that is where frequency medicine can come in. When it's so hard to fix those deep patterns, we can find them and correct them in real time.
So what happens when somebody is ill? I'm getting off my normal beaten path here because I want to get a little more of your history and where you came from with this. But if we are, when is somebody ill? When their frequency is out of line, or
when you're incoherent? Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So let's say you have some sort of condition. You're coming to me and you say, what can you even do for me? The first thing that I'll do is, after your consent, is scan your entire field, your physical, your spiritual, your ancestral, every single part of the energy that is who you are. Then we turn that into a really concise report that you can read and understand, but then we take it one step further. You know how like you go to the doctor and then you have to go to the pharmacy and then you have to go home and you have to take this pill all this time? I wanted to take that out of medicine. I think that's inconvenient. So our system works like this. We print you. We see what's going on, we return you back to those original frequencies, and then those frequencies are automatically sent to you in a self-intelligent, self-adjusting loop that you don't have to worry about. All you have to do is say yes, and the healing continues. And you can do this once. My system is designed so that I don't want to create patients, right? I want to create people that know how to heal themselves and understand. I want people to be able to take medicine into their own hands, and that's really the point of the Prince system.
Okay, so you've essentially come up with a way that we all can fall into a dissectable lineage of an outline, essentially, of where we're at in our lives and where how our body is working together or not.
Yeah, like a
An
frequency
outline.
snapshot.
Okay.
Right? It's not necessarily a diagnosis, but I can see exactly where your energy is now and where it wants to go, which is incredibly convenient. And it's not just human bodies. We can map anything.
So, wow, okay, so this can become very powerful, but the problem that people are having is that their frequency is off with regard to, like, they're out of line with the world or nature or what it is, and they're being disruptive, and so that's causing them to not function well, or how's
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. So imagine that, just like what we talked about, the big stage performance, and everybody knows what they're supposed to do, but things happen, whether it's stress, whether it's illness, whether it's, PTSD, something just unknown that comes in and messes up your coherency. Well, how do you get past that? Well, taking a pill, we all know, sometimes emergency medicine I love, but taking a pill isn't the answer to everything. So what can we do to have a drug-free solution, to have actual healing for the people and to allow, frequency for the people? And the Prince system and Solara Frequency Foundation is my solution to that.
And you've developed a lot of this on your own.
Yeah,
You've got your own system that
This
you've
is
come up
all my work. I believe we've developed the most powerful biofeedback system in the world, if I could say so quite humbly. It's incredible, the results we've been finding in our case studies, the results, the feedback from the patients. It's been incredible.
Well, and you've got a number of examples we're going to show up on your website as well. But literally, like, you've developed a way for people to understand the way that God is essentially, and I hate using the word, for those who say, oh, God, getting religious, no. But there's, in my estimation, there's a higher power, something that created a frequency, a method, a pattern, a system for us. And if you're outside of that, then you start to have issues. If you're following the frequency, if you're staying in tune, then your life will be, and you can detect where somebody is off the path or
Absolutely.
outside of the frequency. And you can see that in this diagnosis that you print.
Exactly. And we have the green print scan, which is all your physical health. We have the purple print, which gets into anything to do with like your spiritual life, like any type of spiritual gifts you might have. We can read your consciousness. We have a consciousness print to help you understand how you connect in with the greater conscious body. It's quite profound, and we say mind expanding because the area in which we are researching and discovering has been life-changing.
Yes, I would say I'm going to use one of my fabled stories. It's a true story. It's a method for understanding this. But effectively, I mean, we didn't know what electricity was 300 years ago. Now we've got understanding for voltage and milliamps and everything that there is that goes along with that. How much is there we still don't understand, and this is kind of where the realm you're in. Things that the traditional, and there's reasons that these organizations are in place. They make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And they provide for a good, healthy control of our system, if you will, or the control of our humanity. but there's so much we don't understand. And when you start getting into realms that are outside of that, you get some pushback. I'm sure you've had some people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, for the most part, we've left what is Newtonian science. Now, Newtonian science has its place. If you want to build a bridge, if you want, you know, to do something that really is like building a bridge is a great example. But when you're talking about health, we're not machines. So we need more than that, which got me to studying quantum physics, which is where frequency medicine starts. But I believe we're even moving past, you know, some of those areas. I believe I'm on patent 7 to put it like that, you know, of what we're developing and how we are, I think, changing the face of medicine. My goal is to democratize medicine.
So you've got 6 other patents.
Yes, I've got 7 total patents, and more coming soon. But my patent lawyer says, "Give me a minute, girl." Which okay.
Okay, but literally, and when you say Newtonian, you're talking about Newton, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what the apple falls, gravity, all of those.
That guy right there. Yeah.
Pretty practical stuff, but there's elements that we don't understand that are outside of that or beyond that.
Yeah, exactly. Newtonian physics treats the body as a machine, and last time I checked, we're not a machine. It takes the soul out of medicine. What frequency medicine does is return that soul, and to me, creates a much more coherent version of healing.
Okay, so yeah, there is some people believe, and I believe this is absolutely too. I don't know if this for certain happened, but as I recall, you and I talked about my my story a little bit. I was in a coma, and I do recall a time, and I don't know if I dreamt that I had this or it actually happened, so don't hold me to it, but I remember looking down on myself, and everybody was around me, and I see myself laying on the hospital bed, and they're talking about what's going to happen. And then I pulled out of that, came back and went back into my body, if you will. But that was kind of an out-of-body experience.
Absolutely.
They talk about, and maybe having some connection to the soul, where the soul was going. We're going to make a decision here. We're going to figure out if we're pulling the soul out, taking you off to the next realm,
yeah.
whatever that is, afterlife, and where that goes. So is this kind of in the space that you're talking about, where there's different levels for what and we just don't understand these?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's something we could map. I could map that situation that happened to you, and we could figure out exactly what happened, which is fascinating, right?
Oh,
you know?
wow. Okay. So you could tell me what was going on and how close I was to death, or
right, because energy doesn't lie, and those patterns will be in your field.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does somebody do that meets with you? Do they come to your office and you do a scan, or how does
So the great thing about my system is it works anywhere in the world. If you're in Australia and you want me to see you, all you have to do is book on my website. I have a clinic where we see as many people as we can. Right now, my little sister is the only person that is helping me scan, so we are a small business. But I hope to grow. You know, I think the more people that we can expose to the system and show them that like healing, it truly can be taken into your own hands, the better.
Yeah, like beyond what we're traditional, like I said, there's a lot. I'm going to probably lose some potential sponsors, and some people say you got to follow the old system where we can control things, and it gets into where so often, and they talk about this without getting any of my medical. I went to SLU, so I have fraternity brothers that were medical doctors, but so often they treat the symptoms. They're never actually treating what the core issue was.
Exactly.
So I get to get along with some of my chiropractor buddies because they talk more about the system and the frequency and realms in that space. But there's a lot to learn here, and much more we'll go about. I'm going to show off a little bit of what you've got on your website.
Thank you.
Because we do have some good information that people have shared, and I'm going to pull this up. So as you scroll down on your page, this is solarafrequencyfoundation.com. All right, and yeah, here's our first of a number of, and this is the second one. I think we scrolled to this one. 3 months, total transformation. Solara and print work has literally changed my life in the past 3 months, from my personal health to my family and pets, wellness to my business turn of success. I have started to find my voice, which has led to the thyroid healing. I have discovered my true purpose and how to live it. I'm so excited to see what else will come out of this new chapter. Kayla, she puts her last name, Kayla Sawyer. Tell me, that's got to be feeling pretty cool when you've got, and we got to scroll through a few of these here if you want, but you can see more of these if you want to go read these yourself. How does it feel to have these kinds of responses from people who've worked with you?
Incredible, humbling. I'm grateful. Every single day I pray for the wisdom and to continue this work in the way that I want. You know, Kayla specifically has continued to study with me. She's actually going to be part of our print practitioner program and is going to learn how to print people herself. Her evolution and watching her has been incredible. I think the most common thing that people tell me is, I've never felt so seen. And there is so much medicine in being seen in a world that just cares about fast and quick and fake almost. To be able to be seen as your true authentic self, that's medicine, and it's, you know, that's medicine alone.
Wow, yeah, because how much do we not even discover or realize about ourselves because we get in our little scope and we're focused on, you know, getting the dog walked and getting the kids taken to school and everything that gets involved with our daily lives. We don't even take time to think outside of the normal perspective that has been we've been trained towards, if you will. What is it about this that ultimately feeds your passion?
I'm sorry, what?
What is it that ultimately feeds your passion for this?
Well, you know, I do business as Sister Sodium. And I do business as Sister Sodium because I'm salty. I'm fed up with the modern medical system. You know, when they told me 13 pills and you're going to do that for the rest of your life and there's nothing we can do, I'm just one of millions that the modern medical system has failed. And I'm not, again, I think there's a place for what we, you know, emergency medicine, but I'm very motivated, very, very motivated to stop the suffering that I see with my brothers and sisters, not only in the military, but in humanity. I think we need a new way forward, and I'm hoping that Solara Frequency Foundation can provide that.
There we have it. Lots to absorb there, and so much that makes sense if you really analyze it. With that, I'm going to share some of the community stuff. A connection I found, and I believe there's these connections we have that come out of realms that we don't understand. But this is one where I connect. I said, let's play this video, if you don't mind. And here it is. Check out this little video and a little bit more about what stuff we're doing in the community. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, everybody, we're outside of Patios. This is where all the best baseball fans go. Get a good picture right there of Patios there. I'm paying my camera guy here. Sonny, we agreed to pay you double what we paid you last time, right? All right, we all know how much that is. So a little bit of the excitement we had here the other day, annually we make a trophy, right? This trophy right here is this year's trophy. It does get a little weathered, let's just say, over time. And I happen to have decided, I had a guy come up to me and goes, hey, Cowboy, what's up? I told him I'd come back. I did come back. A lot of times when I get caught up, but that happened to initiate. He goes, what's up with the trophy? I said, well, we do kind of a dedication. It's in memory of my father who raised me on baseball, right? Which is a great thing to be raised on. And I signed it right there. And then as I signed it, I put Braxton, and I dedicated it, Braxton Rethers. That's my dad. 38 seconds later, I go walking down. I see a youngster who's got, this is the same hat you were wearing that game? And I go up to him, I'm like, hey, what's your name? We got to do a cheer. Go ahead and hold the trophy for me. And I always get somebody, Carl, what's up, brother? I always get everybody's first name. And I say, what's your first name? What's your first name?
Braxton.
His first name is Braxton, everybody. If you don't believe there's some higher power stuff going on this little planet, the odds of somebody also being the name Braxton 38 seconds after I put my dad's name, who happens to be Braxton, there's something going on. So that brings us all Cardinal fans together. Who is your favorite player and why do you love the Cardinals?
My favorite one is probably Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn. And it kind of sounds like Braxton, so we're going to go with that one too. All right, and you say your name is?
I'm Tyler.
Tyler, right, Tyler?
Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite player and why do you love the Cardinals?
I'm kind of a Mason Wynn guy as well. Young guy, bad on injuries, and loves the grit and adversity for the kids. So.
Well, back in the day, my favorite player was also a shortstop by the name of? Ozzie Smith. All right, so if you guys don't mind, let's take off.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. one of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the
Nothing
Your
on my
Little
website.
Castle show.
Well,
We
I'll
air
get into that, but
3 times a
Frequency
week,
for the People means
every
affordability
week
for the
on
people,
ABC, and we would like to put
won't find anybody
somebody you
else
know,
with
or maybe
that
it's you,
stuff.
who's a business owner, to be on our show. You'll sit
It
right here
truly is.
in our guest
That's how you
chair,
change
right
things.
here,
You gotta
sitting
do
here
the right
talking to
thing. Show
us.
people how
We're
it's
going to put
done, I
on the
think.
wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader.
Exactly.
Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com. And if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So yeah, we are a video production house. If you heard some of our commentary, our mic went on there for a second, but we can produce videos for anybody, and that's part of what we do here as part of our business plan. But pick up this book if you'd like to learn more. Magnetize Your Media, #1 seller on Amazon already, and yours truly wrote that introduction, forward they call it. Cardi essentially wrote the first chapter, but media has really changed the way we do things, and so much now that we have to convey our message. So that's why we like to give a platform to people who may not have, the multi-million-dollar platform that some of these major corporations have, but to give a different perspective. So somebody might get mad at me, but that's all right. We're gonna help those that have a good message out there. With that, let's give a quick cost analysis. When somebody comes to you, typically, what are you bringing to them that they're not getting anywhere else? Because many people are stuck, and like in your own particular case, this is it. This is the way it's going to be. There is no alternative. Well, this is very expensive for somebody to stay stuck in a position in life that's not happy or well, and you can help them to get out of that, and it's worth a lot.
Yeah, so thank you. To me, Frequency for the People is more than just a motto. It's everything that we do. So you will never find our prices in a ridiculous, if it's something that has to do with health, most things we have are under $150, and that includes everything you need: the scan, the print, the frequencies that will continue to run through your system. And if that's too much, we also have just like wave files. We call it BioPhi. It's one of my patents that I've created, and it's a frequency file that is tuned specifically to phi ratio plus a lot of other mathematics, and it helps your whole body to return to coherence, and it's only $9.99. I don't want money to get in the way of people being able to truly heal. So we have all sorts of options. Also, we do have we're an organization, and we have, a charity organization, so people do make donations. So if it's really a situation where you cannot afford this, send us an email. We are more than willing to work with you, and we also are always running sales. Frequency for the People is real for us.
Promotions to help make the world a little bit better place. Tell me, why should somebody choose you? There's alternatives out there. There's different methods, and we have our standard. Typical, that might be what you might be explaining to people, that they go to the doctor and then they get the medications. Why should somebody give you a chance to help them?
What I can offer is clarity. Okay, I don't want to be the person that's telling you how you should handle your health. I want you to be knowledgeable so that you know what's truly going on with your health. And if I give you that, then you can take your own power back. And that's all that I care about. So, you know.
Well, you're giving people, you're empowering people to give them the resources here to go off and try something, because how often do people, I mean, they're stuck.
Yeah,
and they don't
absolutely.
have an alternative. They're told this is the way it's going to be. Very similar to my case. This is where we wonder, well, how did we get connected here? Some other frequency came across and match this up. But I was told I was going to be a vegetable at first. My parents were told that while I was in a state of comatose, I was in a coma. But they said that you're going to have to take care of Carter for the rest of his life. And I just didn't listen to them. But this is what doctors were telling my parents.
Right.
And so when do you step outside of that and say, hey, no, I'm going to try something else? You get one shot at this thing, right? At least in this realm that we know of. And so why would you not want to try something alternative? That's what you're offering.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get into the you've got 9 patents. We're talking about accolades. A lot of people get their certifications. They get some certificates and some awards and some related things. But when you've got 9 patents, how many patents now?
7.
7 patents.
More on the way.
7th. And when you've got patents now that you've really developed that obviously have gone through a process, that's a lot to stake a claim on, that you've done a lot of work in your space.
Thank you. I'm very serious about the work that we do. It was important to me to patent, not so much so that I could own it, but so that nobody could prevent me from ever using this technology. I'm hoping to train as many people as I possibly can to use this tech, because I do really think that we can make a difference in the world.
Well, there's no doubt, and like I said, there's always alternatives out there, whether we realize them or appreciate them or understand them. Think outside of the box kind of thing. And so give yourself an opportunity. When others tell you you can't, say, no, I'm going to figure out a way to get there anyway. I've done that myself, and our guest here has done the same thing as well. And so when you've got Sarah Runge, Sister Sodium, because she's salty, she might be able to come up with a solution for you.
Absolutely.
Benefits of working with a small business. You and your sister are working on this together.
Yeah.
Lots of personal care you get to take.
Absolutely. It's my sister. It's my family. My mom makes some special salves for us. It's a 100% from the heart, from the heartland. We're all from Missouri. I'm a 7th generation farmer's daughter. I know what it's like to, I've been through all sorts of places in my life, and I've never found anything that resonates with me as much as frequency medicine, or that, you can know that working with us as a small business, we have not only your best interest at heart, but true ethics and values are the most important thing to us.
Quickly, you've got about 30 seconds left, but tell me the biggest mistake people make, and that would be maybe not coming to see you if they have...
Maybe not taking their own health in their hands. Just believe in what a doctor might say with not researching it more. Doctors are human. They make errors. And also, the power that comes for you to be able to take your health in your own hands will change your life, because it's not just your health that will take control after that. You'll find all sorts of other places in your life where, this new freedom can lead you.
There you have it, everybody. Check out Sarah's channels and TikTok and everything that she's got to offer, and get some information from her. Go to her website, fill out the form, and they'll get back to you very quickly. And you can see that too. I'm going to put this up on the screen for everybody. Check it out, everybody. We'll be back. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.